his own opinion. And I think what's important here is that a party produces the governor, although the governor himself is a child of circumstance. You know, there are issues. The former governor had his own fair share of the issue that came to going to join PP. So it has always been an age-long issue that that kept recurring. So it's still nothing changes. The governor will keep denying. They keep removing the amen. But the most important thing is there must be separation between the role of the party executives and that of the state executives. You know, the PDP, that is what actually destroyed the PDP. The moment you say the highest political office holder becomes the leader of the party, it then makes a mess of the party, because ordinarily the party is supposed to check the governor with in relation to the manifesto. But in this case, when the governor or the president becomes the leader of the party, it becomes difficult to really take on the role to ensure that the manifestos are followed, because the governor or the presidents now assume the role of taking themselves, which it ought not to be. So
okay. Let me ask you this question. In your own opinion, who do you think should be the leader of a political party in a state and a national level? Because you see, when you have party executives, they supervise your coming, your election, they campaign for you and all of that. And then because you become the governor, you automatically take charge or become the leader of the party in the state. And then if you have any issue with any member of the executive, you orchestrate is remover. Now and they start having issues with the political party, forgetting that they actually worked for you before you were elected as governor or as president of the state. So in your opinion, who do you think should really be the leader of the party in a state or at a national level?
The leader of the party in a state at national level should still be the party chairman. That is why you discover that their roles are being eroded. And is to tell you, nobody checks the executive. They all in all, and too much power is concentrated to them. Apart from the state power, the party executive power is not formed by the president and the governors. So little will you hear about them, and whoever challenges them stands the risk of being removed.
All right.
Okay.
Well, that's that on Benue State. So generally, we are saying that this is the right thing to do. Is that the party chairman should be the leader, because if you watch, it's been a tug of war between once I'm the leader of the party, I come in as the leader. So whatever anybody that does not follow my style, I just go to his word. You can imagine now that one of the world leaders said that he was deceived. He was actually tricked.
Signing
the register. He was actually asked to come to the government house in Makurdi. So he thought he wanted to come and receive palliatives for his word. Only for him to get there and he signed, that was now used to say, look, his word escorts has asked for his removal. That he's not part of it, So we appreciate you for that kind of a boss explanation. So in the sense, every political party of the party in the state, not the governor or the president.
Okay, so we'll break briefly. We'll come back, and when we do, we'll go straight to Plateau State.
Our lives are changed.
People, all of us.
Leaders, politics.
Nobody's ambition is.
I have a very family. Natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody.
anybody, and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on Atn Politics today. Today, our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders.
Welcome back to still with us on the show. It's Dr. Dave. Now, in Plateau State, the 16 SACS members of the Plateau State House of Assembly, under the platform of the People's Democratic Party, have approached the Court of Appeal seeking to decide the earlier judgment of the same court that nullified their elections. Recall that the Court of Appeal had nullified the election of all the PDP lawmakers in the State Assembly on the ground that their party lacks structure to sponsor candidates in the election. However, the legislators have insisted that they are still members of the House following the Supreme Court's judgment affirming the election of Governor Caleb Mufwang, whose case was also nullified at the Supreme Court of Appeal. They believe that the Supreme Court's judgment has vindicated them. The sacked legislatures said their ground, as contained in the motions, were predicated upon the fact that the judgment of the court delivered on the 24th day of November 2023 is a nullity. According to them, the Supreme Court judgment that validated the nomination and sponsorship of Plateau State Governor Caleb suffices that the Court of Appeal should set aside its earlier judgment. Recall that the lawmakers had made an attempt to return to the House of Assembly, a move that nearly triggered a political crisis in the state. At the moment, members of the APC who were beneficiaries of the Court of Appeal judgment are yet to be sworn in by the Speaker of the House, Gabriel Ding. The Speaker hinged his decision on conflicting court orders.
Very interesting story. Very interesting. Dr. Dave, are you there? You can see that if you heard the story of the 16 lawmakers of the PDP lawmakers in Plateau State that have gone back. Yeah, they've gone back to the Court of Appeal. Do you see that? Do you see any positive thing coming out from
possibility?
You see, my own take about it. The moment the judgment was pronounced, they shouldn't have waited for this long. Should have filed for stay of execution of the judgment in the first instance, whilst at least they have a window of 90 days. They should have filed stay of execution, then proceed to Court of Appeal to appeal the judgment, knowing fully well that it is going to still take the same pattern that of Governor Mufwang took, because at the end of the day, it is going to end in Supreme Court. And knowing fully well that the governor did say they should also have prepared themselves, the legal team ought to know what to do, rather than allow anybody to come up with conflicting court injunctions that would, because there is not supposed to be a vacuum in governance. Okay, they are now out. The recipients of the judgment are not yet sworn in. So what do we have in Plateau State as it stands? They ought not, immediately the judgment was pronounced, first thing for them to do is to, the lawyers should have filed for stay of execution of the judgment. We should not even be talking about whether the APC members, the beneficiaries, are going to be sworn in by now. If they should have a stay of execution to deal with, and the State Assembly should be served appropriately.
You know that, but you know that the when it comes to the National Assembly and House of Assembly election, their judicial stop at the Court of Appeal. They couldn't have gone to the Supreme Court. I'm sure that's what actually happened, because you know every National Assembly cases, as of reps, senators, will always end at the Court of Appeal. They cannot appeal at the Supreme Court. And if for Governor Mufwang, it was because his own case went to the Supreme Court. That was why he was able to get judgment. So they cannot, apply for any stay of execution. But I think what they've done now is the right thing. Let them also approach the Court of Appeal, who sacked them. Say, look, based on what the Supreme Court has given, can you do a review of this case? If anything is like that. So let's hope that their cases can be reviewed by the same court that sacked them. We are not lawyers. I'm not a lawyer, and I'm sure you're also not a lawyer, as far as I'm concerned.
Absolutely.
Yes. So that's what they can do. They can only ask for a review, and let's hope that the review may decide to say, okay, let's review their case and see what. Because if you don't do that, even the governor that has been affirmed by the Supreme Court may not be able to rule, because the assembly now is not. I don't think they're even sitting.
Yeah.
Because I think they have just 8 members there. And the speaker has said he will not swear in the APC, the beneficiary of the judgment. So for me, it's only that place they can go to. If their cases have gone to the Supreme Court, I'm sure the same thing that happened to the governor will also happen to them.
Yeah.
So
they actually have a case.
They have a case,
yeah.
But it is that would the appeal court agree or accept to review their case? That is the point of contention now. But they have gone to court. They've gone to court.
Well, thank you for that wonderful analysis. But you and I know that they are most likely, it's still the same set of justices that will still sit down to review this case. And what does the law say about it? Can the document be reviewed? What is the provision of such review? And we're in Nigeria. Are we sure that they are going to get any respite apart from the initial judgment? Does the law permit them to review the judgment?
Well, that's what we're looking at this. They have gone to court, and we also know that this will not cause a political crisis in the state. So we await the decision of the court of appeal. We don't know what the decision is yet, but as we get those information, definitely we also pass it across to our viewers to know. Because right now the speaker has said he will not swear in those who benefited from the judgment, which is the APC members, that he will not swear them in. So let's wait and see. So on to our last story for the day, because of our time now. The PDP. Tell about the PDP now. The Federal High Court in Abuja has issued an order to the former aide to ex-President Atiku Abubakar, Otunba Segun Showunmi, to pace court processes he filed against the Ambassador Iliya Damagum-led People's Democratic Party at the party's national secretariat in Abuja. This ruling was made by Justice Bolaji Olajuwon, who delivered his ruling on an ex parte motion for sufficient service by Showunmi, who is the plaintiff in the case. The lawyer Adeson Simuta had informed the court that his client was having problems in effecting service of court processes on 6 out of the 8 defendants in the suit. Justice Olajuwon consequently ordered that the service and that they should serve the service to do what, to go and paste it at the party secretariat. So what do you make of this, Dr. Dave? Because of our time, we don't have much time. This the Showunmi has gone to court to say, look, the party is time for you to review what happened in the last election, and of course call for a congress. You just be acting and then nothing's happening at the secretariat of the party. So what's your take on this?
Well, my take on this is the judiciary has taken the right step. The party cannot continue like this. There are quite a number of elections to be held. Imagine Edo State governorship election holding, and the party is in disarray like this. What do you expect at the end of the day? Then, so we should go ahead and paste the judgment. That is to serve them by means of substitution. If they are, if it is pasted, they are given a number of days to really come back to the court. It has been pasted, and there are evidences that it has been pasted. Then they will come on. Why will they not, after 1 year that they've sacked the Senator Iyochayu, they have not been able to call NEC meeting? And it's against their own rule, not the rule by anybody. They set the rule themselves, and then why is it difficult for them to follow their own rule? So I think the court has taken a decision and to paste it on the door of the National Secretariat is the right thing, since they are refusing to be served. So I think it's allowed.
Well, Dr. Dave, the court adjourned the hearing to March 4th. What do you think is the implication of this? Not the PDP not being able to organize a Congress, and they have there are some elections. We have elections in those states, on those states, and what do you think would be the implication of this?
Gloria, what was the implication when they had the election in Kogi State? What happened? So it's still the same. There was no NEC meeting, an election held in Kogi State. There was no NEC meeting held in Ekiti. Election, it's going to, I don't see it having any adverse effect on the electioneering process. I don't see it having any serious effect, although it is painful that the party is finding it difficult to follow her own rule.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Dave, for joining us on Atn Politics today. Yeah, thank you.
All right. But before you go, a quick one. In this whole thing, in this whole discussion today, so what would be your advice to the national leadership of the PDP?
My advice to the national leadership of the PDP is to live one day at a time. They should put what is past behind them and live today as it is and hope for the best in the nearest future.
All right.
You can't continue to live in the past.
They should forget that they have lost it. I think they have lost election, so they should accept it in good faith and plan ahead.
Accept it in good faith ahead
by doing the right thing.